All right, what's up, guys? So today we're going to be looking at Adobe Lightroom Classic. There are two versions of Lightroom installed on the computers. There is Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Lightroom Classic. You guys, unfortunately, you guys only have access to Adobe Lightroom Classic, but it does just about the exact same stuff as Lightroom does, so it's not that big of a deal. This is what Adobe Lightroom Classic will look like when you open it. So yours might not have any photos in. It might have photos in. Either way, it's not a big deal. As you can see, I have some photos installed here or imported here from a project that I did in the past. You have your little library in the center. So any photos that you have imported into Lightroom will be in that center section. Any photo you also import into Lightroom will be down in this little film reel down here. Now, if these are photos that aren't yours, don't worry about it. As soon as you import new photos, those will all go away and you'll be able to just see the photos that you've imported. To import a photo, you are going to click on Import in the bottom left corner. It'll then bring up all of the sources that you can use. I'm going to use my Nikon 7100. You guys use a Nikon 3200. After that, I'm just going to scroll through the photos. So I have all these soccer, cross country, soccer, some stuff from the ranch, and I'm just going to select the photos that I want. Now, looking through this, we notice that every single photo is checked. That means they're all selected. I'm only selecting a certain amount of photos, and I assume you guys will be too. So I would check or click uncheck, and then you're just going to go through selecting the few photos that you want to play around with and you want to edit. So I'm just going to choose those three and move this over. Now to import them, once you have all the ones you've selected, you just click import in the bottom right. And like I said, those old photos will disappear and all the new ones will then pop up. I'm just going to get rid of this guy, move him up here. So now we see my new photos right here or right here. If we need to get back to all those photos that used to be there, you just click on where it says previous import and go to all photographs, and it'll show you every single photo that you have or somebody has imported. To edit a photo, you are going to click on the photo. So I'm going to start with this one right here. Then I'm going to go up to develop. Develop is going to be where all my Lightroom tools are. And I'm going to start playing around with different edits. Now this right here will click you through some tips. So right now it's telling us our editing tools are right here. We navigate with the little film strip down here so we can always edit all these different photos. We have our cropping, our spot healing tool, our red eye correction, and our masking tool right here. We have our non-destructive, so going back on edits, playing around with any edits that you've done. The history is all going to be right here. Snapshots, so this is going to be like specific, like filters and things. You probably won't have any installed, but we can possibly make some later in the quarter. And last one again is presets, which goes along with snapshots. Okay, so this says my file can't be found. The reason it can't be found is because I had it on an old SD card. I took that SD card out. I never saved it to my computer. So I can't edit this one. I'm not going to be able to download it. So I'm just going to go to some of these range photos, which aren't the best because I haven't had time to edit them in Photoshop. To edit, it's then just kind of playing around with all of these different tools. So we have our regular Photoshop stuff right here. If we click into HLS and color, we can then start playing with specific colors. So if I wanted to change blues, I can then start changing my blues, or my greens I can change as well. If I click on color, I'm editing specific colors again. So now I can saturate just the reds, or I can take out red. I do see a lot of purple in this. I'm going to take away the purples and pinks. I'm going to start enhancing some of this grass and maybe some of the background blue, and just kind of playing around with stuff. What I want you guys to do today is I want you to go through these tools, edit your photos. You're going to turn in 3 photos by the end of today. And just play around with this different stuff. Try different tools, see what they do. Stick to the develop tab right here. Don't go into map or book or anything like that quite yet. We'll learn those later on. And just edit 3 of your photos, okay? Once you've done, you will need to save them. To save your photos, go back to library, You will go down to export. Make sure your photos are selected, so we know that number 6 right here is selected because it is like a brighter gray. If I hold command, I can select multiple. I'm then going to click export. I'm going to choose my desktop. I'm not going to put it in a subfolder. If you wanted them all to go into a folder of their own, you can, and then you can put like Lightroom edits. And then you can just skip everything else. Make sure it says after export, do nothing. Then you'd click export and all of your photos would be there. I'm just gonna not do that so I don't have those photos saved. Then once you're done, turn them into Google Classroom. We'll go over Lightroom a lot more moving forward. But just go ahead and play around with them and see what you can do. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'll be at home. I'm going to be at a workshop tomorrow, so I'll be at home doing an online workshop. So if you do have any questions, just shoot me an email. I'll quickly get back to you guys. Other than that, have fun, play around, and see what you guys can create.